Welcome to the Thanksgiving episode of the Campus Edge.
Of course, not every story we have today will focus on the great turkey tradition.
That's true. No Thanksgiving meal is complete without the sides.
And no side is complete without the gravy.
Whoa now, I think you're taking that a bit too far. I'll put gravy on my mashed potatoes and turkey, but that's about it.
I cover everything in gravy. I usually grab a bowl, fill it with about halfway with gravy, and then drop the rest Jell-O specially blends well. You
put your Jell-O in gravy soup?
Well, I'm not just going to eat Jell-O dry.
Is Jell-O even a Thanksgiving thing? I always thought that was Easter. Karen, we're getting off track. We have a news show to host.
Right? Well, today we have stories in the spirit of Thanksgiving.
And a few that aren't seasonally relevant.
All of that and more on the Campus Edge.
Looks like it's done.
I think it's only fitting that we open with my story, one over Thanksgiving traditions.
I wish I'd known that you were doing this story. I'd have loved to share mine.
I'm not entirely sure if I or anyone would like to hear you describe your Thanksgiving traditions again, especially not see them.
I doubt my preferred festivities are too different than any featured in your package. Why don't we take a look?
Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Let's see what some of Butler's finest students do for their Thanksgiving. For BCTV 20, I'm Dominic Ebersole. Let's go take a look.
I like Thanksgiving because I like that I can eat however much I want without being judged. Yeah, I normally eat a lot. Some of my favorite Thanksgiving traditions that I actually do include eating more than a family of 12, being so bloated I feel like I can't walk out the door, unbuttoning my pants after my 5th plate of food so I can comfortably eat more, and yelling at small children. I normally spend my Thanksgivings with my family, all of my cousins and my aunts and my uncles, and my grandma. We all go eat at my aunt's house. And it's pretty fun, kind of hectic, but yeah, that's who I normally spend my Thanksgivings with. Some fun things that we do that I think other people don't do for Thanksgiving is eat more than a family of 12. We also have turkey, ham, and chicken noodles. And I think it would be good for people to incorporate chicken and noodles in their Thanksgiving foods. Really all we do is eat. We also watch the Macy's Day Parade. That's kind of cool. There's a big floating Dorado. Super cute. So normally for Thanksgiving, we celebrate just on the day of Thanksgiving since it's a national holiday, so people normally have it off of work. And we we've always done it at lunchtime. I know a lot of people have Thanksgiving dinners, but we actually eat at about 12:30 or 1.
One of my favorite Thanksgiving traditions would be just the togetherness of my family, where right after we finish eating, one of my uncles starts playing music and we all just basically get up and dance. So every Thanksgiving it just turns into this giant dance party, and then my cousins of my age, we just go into a different room and start watching scary movies. So that's one of my favorite Thanksgiving traditions. Some of the foods I eat at Thanksgiving would be obviously turkey, tamales, enchiladas, pozole, fried tacos. We eat a lot of dessert. Really just every family member brings in their own side dish. So I wouldn't say there's a main dish, but we just eat a lot of food. I usually spend Thanksgiving with my mom's side of the family since most of them live here in Kansas, but the majority of my dad's family live in Mexico and California, and they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so I spend more of my time with my mom's side of the family.
This has been Dominic Ebersole. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Well, I guess I was totally off base there. They really don't make Jell-O gravy bowls.
No, Karen. Nobody does.
Well, luckily for me, I'm not afraid to break social norms. I'll be eating my way for Thanksgiving no matter what anyone says.
And I think you're entitled to that. Just in your own home, privately, and don't talk to anyone about it, ever.
I'll be sure to send you pictures of the process.
I would advise you not to do that.
Speaking of advice as to what not to do over Thanksgiving, we have a package on that very topic.
Why don't we take a look?
Well, hello there. I'm Campus Edge reporter Ryan Harper, but today I'm not going to be reporting anything to you. In fact, I'm going to be giving you some helpful tips on what not to do before and during Thanksgiving break. Now, as everything goes with Thanksgiving, this one's going to start with a turkey. Turkeys are great, they're yummy, everyone loves them. But it can be dangerous if you go and try to hunt your own without knowing what you're doing. Let's go look at what could happen if you don't follow this simple tip of not to go hunt your own turkeys.
Ryan's a little indisposed right now. As you can see, that did not go well for the hunter. Let's move on to our next tip with how you should keep a good relationship with you and your teacher.
Sorry guys, I was a bit busy. Well, thanks for Ryan for filling in for me. But as he said, this next part's going to involve your relationship with you and your teacher. You want to make sure not to anger your teacher before Thanksgiving break, because you may have to see them again. In fact, it's very likely that you're going to have to see them again. Let's look at someone who doesn't follow this simple tip.
Alright guys, today in Art Appreciation, we're going to be talking about doodling. Who was that? Whoever it was, don't let it happen again, okay? Alright, class! Whoever it was, stand up right now! One more time, and everybody's in trouble.
I bet that teacher was pretty mad. But on a more serious note, guys, you're going to want to do 3 things over your Thanksgiving break. Number 1, drive safe. Number 2, just be safe. And most importantly, number 3, be thankful. I'm Ryan Harper for Campus Edge.
I am a little lost. I don't really think he gave a good reason not to throw stuff at a teacher.
Didn't it say on screen that there was technical difficulties? I think that's a negative result.
In that case, why not just call the IT department?
Do they cover student-created problems?
I'm not sure. Why don't we check out this story on Trent Schneeweiss, a Butler technician.
I'm Campus Edge reporter Marbella Gonzalez. Have you ever wondered who fixes and supports all the technology here at Butler? Let's go find out.
The type of technology I fix are switches, network servers. I work on mannequins. I work on desktop computers. I work on laptop computers, projectors, and smart boards. My job is essential to each department because everyone needs technology, and I'm able to configure what they need to have and set up what they need to have because I'm the dedicated tech for these departments. The campuses I go to are Andover, Rose Hill, El Dorado, and the Fire Science Building, which is located in El Dorado.
Check out this $90,000 mannequin.
I've worked at Butler since 2013, so I've worked here for 3 years. I've started off as a student here. I originally went for my cybersecurity degree, and they let me become a techie over here in the IS department. My favorite part here working at Butler is the benefits that I can receive. If I go to school, I get a REAP benefit, which means I get a good raise, so it helps me professionally, and it gives me a great way to obtain my professional goals. I do go to school full-time, and I work full-time at Butler. I'm going for my internet working and telecommunications degree, with an emphasis in web development, and I plan to obtain that degree by fall of 2017. I hope to see in this department in the future for me to have a managerial role and to have a student worker to better help the students and the faculty here for all the departments that we support, so we can have a faster workflow and be more efficient at supporting technology and helping students and faculty with their technological problems.
That's the man behind the technology. For BCTV 20, I'm Marbella Gonzalez.
We'll be right back after this short message. In the meantime, why not grab yourself a bowl of Jell-O gravy?
Hey Karen, what are you getting me for Christmas?
Am I supposed to be getting you a Christmas present?
I mean, I got you one.
Aw, what is it?
Nothing too fancy. It's homemade.
I've heard we had a story on homemade gift. Is it one of those?
I'm not sure. Let's watch it and find out.
Hi, I'm Jessica Morgan, and today I'm going to show you some DIY Christmas gifts. Right now I have 3 different sizes of mugs, and I've already pre-marked them as to what I want them to say or look like. This one I have a snowman. And so you can take any permanent marker and you're just going to mark up what you would like. You can put a snowman and the name on it. Right now I just have a snowman. Okay, and then I'm just going to mark it up. I've already pre-done it so I know where I want them to go. Easy. I have 2 more that I can do. And after I do that, I will put them in the oven for 350 till 20 minutes. I'll be back with the results of these. Okay, the next DIY I have for you is a body scrub. We're going to take 1 cup of brown sugar. Then we're going to take some apple pie spice, a teaspoon of this. And then cinnamon. Kind of mix that in just a little bit. And then you're going to take half a cup of coconut oil. I have a pretty big mason jar, so I can probably put a little bit more brown sugar in there. And with your mason jars, if you want to get fancy, you can put a little ribbon on it or any other cloth. Just whatever you prefer. This is pretty good and it smells great. And so we're just going to put it in our mason jar and be done with it. Another gift you can give that's not a body scrub is a lip scrub. It's really easy. You can use coconut oil, honey, and then sugar. If you don't have coconut oil, olive oil works, or even vegetable oil. I do this a lot. I already put some coconut and a little bit of sugar. I'm going to put some honey in it, and I'm going to mix it together. I'm going to just put it in here, and I'll be back with the results of this one. The last thing I have is these little reindeer hot chocolate mix bags. It's really simple to make. I use a hot glue gun just because it's faster than waiting for your glue to dry. So I'm making 2 dots so I can put my little googly eyes on there. These are the triangle bags, so they're just like the piping when you're doing icing on a cake. And then I just have some cocoa mix. and then you're going to put some marshmallows at top. And then you're going to twist it up, and I have this little brown wire, and as you can see, it's like the little antlers. Our mugs got out of the oven and just now got cooled down, so let's check them out. Here's one that you can do for your mom, and it has decorating there. Here's another one, and it has decorating on the side too. Here's a simple one with just a snowman, and it has a little message on the inside. And then this one actually was taped off and spray painted with this gold, and we actually made Chip. And then we have our reindeer. And then our apple cinnamon scrub is decorated. And then our lip scrub. After seeing all these DIYs, I hope you guys are as ready for Christmas as I am.
Wow, those are great.
Well, I'm glad you like them.
What's that?
In an odd turn of events, I somehow made you all those gifts. The only difference being that my hot cocoa reindeer is actually a deception of Santa trapped inside a chimney that lit a fireplace beneath it.
That reminds me of a Kate Behringer's traffic backstory in Gremlins, which is my favorite Christmas film.
Gremlins is definitely one of my favorites. Why don't we find out what other films are great in getting us in the holiday spirit?
I'm Campus Edge reporter Emily Jordan. Have you ever watched a movie but not known what to eat with it? I'm here to tell you of some of my top 5 holiday movies and what snacks to eat with them. We have Charlie Brown Thanksgiving at the top of the list. It's a movie about how a group of friends get together to celebrate Thanksgiving, and it's with all of your favorite classic Peanut characters. And the snack that I would eat with this movie is pretzel sticks, because when Snoopy tries to make the Thanksgiving dinner, he includes a lot of untraditional snacks. Next, we have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which stars Steve Martin and John Candy, and is directed by John Hughes. The story follows 2 unlikely men get stuck together on trying to get home to their families for Thanksgiving. And the snack I would eat with this is any sort of fall snack. I chose just a fall themed cake. Next is The Polar Express, and for me, it can't be Christmas without this movie. It stars Tom Hanks as a train conductor to go to the North Pole and visit Santa. And the snack that I would have with this is hot cocoa, because that's what all the kids get on the train. Even if there's no snow outside, it makes you feel like it's a snowy day. Next, we have A Christmas Story, which is a classic. It follows the story of Ralphie, who just wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. The snack that I would have with this movie is snowballs, otherwise known as powdered donuts, because it just reminds me of the snow and wintertime. Finally, we have Scrooged, which stars Bill Murray and is the best edition of A Christmas Carol in my opinion. Obviously, it follows the story of Bill Murray, who is the Scrooge in the plot and hating Christmas, but then is visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future to change his perspective on Christmas, and he gets a shot to redeem himself. The snack that I would eat while watching this film is fresh out of the oven brownies, because you can put any type of topping on them, whether it be candies, caramel, or a scoop of ice cream. I think this is a great movie for a night in. You've enjoyed these top 5 holiday films and what snacks to eat while watching them. If this is their idea of Christmas, I gotta stick around for New Year's. For Campus Edge, I'm Emily Jordan.
What a great selection. She even chose a quote from my favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard.
I suppose now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho, probably wouldn't have fit in her video.
And while we're on the topic of not fitting in, our final story is on local animal shelters.
This isn't going to be like one of those sad commercials with terrible 90s music running in the back, is it?
Not at all. It's upbeat and in general a ton of fun.
That's a relief. Why don't we take a look?
Hey, I'm Matt Scharnhorst reporting for Campus Edge, and this is Lily Bear. Say hello, Lily Bear. Come on, Lily Bear. We rehearsed this. Say hello. Anyway, Lily Bear is my right-hand lady, my constant companion, and my forever friend. And I got her from a shelter about 3 years ago, and my heart's been filled with joy ever since. But did you know you can find your forever friend right here in El Dorado? Come on, let's go have a look.
Here at the shelter, we provide a safe place for dogs or cats that are found running at large, surrendered for whatever reason the owner can no longer keep them, or sometimes impounded for certain cases. Animals that come into the shelter, if they are fairly healthy, social, and easily handled, sometimes not that easily, but can be handled. If we can't find an owner, or they're surrendered for whatever reason, then we do our best to find them a new place to go. A shelter pet, the advantage is probably 99% of the time, you're getting a pet that just wants to be loved. We can't tell you if they're house trained. We can't tell you, a lot of times we're nowhere near in the ballpark of their age. All we can tell you is that when you look at that animal, if you can't get that animal out of your head, then you should probably adopt it. My objective is to find my animals a permanent home that's willing to do whatever it takes to give that animal a loving family. Because when they come here, a lot of times they haven't had that. You really have to think when you get a pet, you have to find out if you can have that pet where you live, if you rent, if you have an apartment. Are you limited to a size, or do you have to have special permission to have that animal? Are you willing to, if it's a dog, are you willing to exercise that dog as often as you can? Because even a small dog in an apartment needs to be outside and exercised. If you're going to get a cat, is anybody in your household allergic to cats? A lot of times that's the reason we get most cats surrendered, is because somebody ends up being allergic. Sometimes they don't know ahead of time. So it's a good idea, if you're going to get a cat, to take the family like to the Humane Society or something and interact with cats, see what happens. We mainly deal with dogs and cats. We are not really set up for any other type of animal. We do, on a rare occasion, get a lizard here and there, or snake, or that kind of thing. Those we have to refer to one of the clinics that's actually set up to properly care for that kind of animal.
Before we go, let's find out why the world's second most interesting man loves his shelter pet.
Well, every day I come home, that dog's waiting at the door for me. She knows sometimes she messes up and gets in trouble, but no matter what, she's always there. She probably saved my life, really. I mean, back when I got sick and then I ended up getting hurt a little bit before I got sick, she was really motivation around, because I didn't want to end up dying and, the dog ended up eating me when nobody else found me.
Wow, I better get out of here before I adopt all these dogs and become a crazy dog man. I'm Matt Scharnhorst for Campus Edge.
I know it's a not big piece, but it still made me pretty sad.
Why is that? You want all the pets?
No, it just reminded me that I won't be able to have Jell-O gravies this year.
What could possibly come between you and your gravy bowl?
I just remember that I became a vegetarian earlier this year. Did you know gelatin is produced by boiling the skin, tendons, ligaments, and bones of animals?
What? That video of shelter pets reminded you that you're a vegetarian? You weren't thinking about eating those adorable animals, were you?
I'd like to see you try making it through the holidays without any meat.
If anyone watching feels the need to see Karen reveal her insane and largely revolting eating habits, check out the reruns of the show weekdays at 11 a.m. or last week's show at 6:30 p.m. on BCTV Channel 20.
Or you can check them all out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Butler Radio TV.
This has been the Campus
Campus
Edge.
Edge.